We're joined now by head coach Dana Duckworth. Coach, in the last two meets, you've posted the highest floor exercise score in school history in the month of January, and one of the 5 highest scores in our history. And then this past weekend, on the road, in a rowdy environment, the second highest beam score in school history, and again the highest in the month of January. What does it say about your this team that they're scoring like that in January?
Team 48 is dynamic. They started in the fall with very high expectations, and the coaching staff, we have worked really hard to individualize and maximize each athlete's true potential. I think about, Coach Saban talks about the capability gap versus potential. And I really love the idea of that. This team has an incredible amount of capability to max out and hopefully break lots of different records, but not just because we're looking for accolades, because they have the talent and they have the love and they have the passion and truly the competitive greatness that I believe will make us one of the best teams we've had. It's a process. I believe one of the reporters said something about we're halfway through the season. I actually look at this as being 1/3. We break the season up. We have 10 normal meets, regular season meets. So the first 5, you're getting your feet wet. You're identifying different people for the lineups. The second third is truly honing in on where is our best scoring potential, how many athletes have gotten the competitive experience to excel. And then you set yourself up for the sweet spot, which is truly postseason, which is why we do all that we do. So this team has met some incredible expectations, yet they have fallen short of some things we've really wanted to accomplish, which also continues to keep them hungry.
This week is going to be a little bit different after 4 straight dual meets to start the season. You will face off against number 17 Western Michigan and number 25 North Carolina, both out of conference, but also a tri-meet, which means everything will be going on at the same time. Does this help them prepare for the postseason?
Wonderful opportunity for this team to have multiple events going on simultaneously. The crowd interjecting there and here and there, which we've definitely experienced at our regular season meets and our dual settings. But I do believe going in Olympic order, having multiple things going on at once only helps us to truly get in the Bama bubble, to truly focus on how we can block out the noise and distractions and focus on what we need to do to be the best team on Friday night.
All right, Juliet, go ahead.
Hi, Dana. I know that last week you talked about how you thought that you had 6 beamers that could go 9.9 or above. And I know last week against Auburn, you guys actually hit 5.99 or higher. Can you just talk about what that was like whenever you saw all 5 of them, except for Makari, which she's capable of hitting the 9.9 or higher, just what that felt like?
The feeling was true excitement for seeing their hard work pay off. We have done many intra-squads where all 6 have hit and been at a 9.9 or better pace. So it was wonderful to see all that hard work pay off, and especially in such a boisterous environment with a lot of pressure on the line of finishing strong. We did not start off the way we wanted to start off, and we needed to put those things behind us and then focus on how to capitalize on the next 2 events, which again is all part of their growth as a team and opportunities to learn so that we're more prepared. But I do believe the pace that we're setting and where we're headed is all positive. And so for balance beam to end that way, and now we've had a few times we've had to end on beam that way, it's only gaining confidence. And the nice part is we're still 8, 9 people deep. So we still have other people that can score those kinds of scores, which is beautiful.
Mikey, go ahead.
Yes, Coach. I just wanted to ask about what does Lily Hudson bring to this team? I don't think it's come out this week, the SEC Gymnast of the Week, but last week she was named the SEC Freshman of the Week for gymnastics. So what does she bring to this team, coming in with no college gymnastics experience so far this year?
The best way to answer that is confidence, competitiveness, and a steadiness. Lily is one of those athletes and just young women who really doesn't have a lot of highs and a lot of lows. She's very just kind of right there in the middle. If she's struggling with something, she's process oriented, so she finds a way to work through it. If she's sore or struggling, she's a great communicator. And so it's nice to be able to have a freshman who takes ownership and knowing what she needs to be successful. So she's a very mature young lady, smart, excellent student, and you see that in the gym every day as well.
Ashley Woods, go ahead.
Hi, Dana. This past week at Auburn, all six vaults started out with a 10-0 value. Is there a likelihood that we could see that again throughout this?
Absolutely, that is our goal. We want to have 6 10-0 start value vaults. There was a lot of thought that went into what we did last week, and at this point, this is the time to truly put the best of the best out there, experiment. We have some ladies that have never competed some of those 10-0 vaults, and there's no way to know unless you put them out there, and especially in a high pressure environment. I wish you could have seen the warm-ups. At the end of the day, we talked about we don't win warm-ups, but the reason we went for those 6 vaults and started with Shallon, 1, her competitive experience, but 2, if you're gonna do it, you need to do it now and get those reps under the bright lights, because it's great to do those things in practice, but you have to do them under pressure. And I think that we certainly did not vault how we are capable of, but again, you use those things to learn, you use those opportunities for our young women to figure out how to handle their adrenaline and not change what they do every day in practice when they're under the lights.
Katie, go ahead.
Kind of building off that, even though you didn't get the landings you want, you just talked about earlier about being in the first third of the season. How big do you think that is for the rest of the season, that in this first third, kind of you already threw out that kind of vault lineup, that it's something that you can build on?
Opportunity. That's how I look at it. We are trying to put ourselves in a position. I have a philosophy, and it's, old boss used to say this, is luck is when preparation meets opportunity. And I want this team to have the opportunity that when it presents itself to be on that championship floor with the opportunity to win, which is ultimately our goal, that they have the confidence, the reps, and trust their preparation. And so it says a lot that we tried these things in the first third of the season, and we will only be able to hone in on the details and competing with confidence on that event.
Juliet.
So I know that the last home meet that we had, you said after the meet that you were happy that the students showed out, but you thought they could be louder. And then after I tweeted that, somebody commented and was like, how do you think we can get the athlete or the student section to be louder? And I think part of the issue is that like some people don't understand how gymnastics works. So could you just give some tips and insight into how to know when they should cheer and like what they're looking for?
That's a great question, and thanks for asking this. First of all, remember, you don't find out what the score is for at least 30 seconds to a minute after routine. And so to wait to get excited on whether a score shows up or not is delayed. And at the end of the day, the second that our athletes' feet hit the ground for that dismount or that tumbling pass or that last skill on balance beam and that vault, that's the moment where the hands go up and you explode out of your chair and you just scream for excitement. Whether it looked perfect or not isn't the point. The point is that you're seeing some of the best athleticism. And what I love is even after an athlete have maybe made a mistake, but they are honing in on the details. And every second that after that, every 10th, we talk about it's like every 10th matters, is that we just cheer of joy that that athlete just landed a great routine and throw their hands up in the air and throw their head back. That and bring your shakers and make noise. Those things are all important. Now, I want us to be classy. I want us to look good. I want our fans to be educated. And so, when someone makes a mistake or even like an opponent falls or something like that, I would never want to see our fans cheer for joy. That would be disrespectful. I want our fans and our students to honor the sport and the beauty and the grace of it all. When they land a skill or they land that final routine dismount, go crazy. Does that make sense? Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Welcome.
All right. Anything else for Coach? Thanks everyone for the time.
Roll Tide.
I have
Thank
one
you.
more. Sorry.
Oh,
Can
all right,
I-
Julia.
Sorry. And then what is the trick to sticking a vault? Because I know that sticks were kind of a big thing on the vault.
Well, the secret to sticking anything is your front side really dictates the back side, and that's a technical thing. You need to get a good approach, depending on the skill you're doing, whether it's on floor, whether it's on vault. It's the approach, it's the round off on the vault. It's how you approach the table and how you get amplitude and height and block. And so when some of the issues showed up, it was we were rushing. We didn't really get our feet all the way under us on our boards. We didn't explode off the vault. And I think we believe, and the girls have kind of shared this with me, is they were so hyper-focused on a stick, they didn't focus on technique. So it's all about focusing on the front side, focusing on technique, and then trusting you know where you're at because your eyes are open and you see it.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
You're welcome.
Anything else? All right. Thank y'all. Appreciate you.